Hi, everybody. It's been quite a while and I haven't recorded anything. I usually like to record stuff when I'm traveling or when something significant or really impactful happens and things like that. So, um, I'm recording this video simply because my heart is truly broken. My heart is truly broken for all the people that are facing dismissal, for lack of a better word, or release, for lack of a better word, from their jobs because of their beliefs. Now, I'm going to try and tread carefully when I say believe because this is coming from a place where I think that everybody have a belief as far as COVID-19 is concerned. Every single one of us have a thought process, a belief, whether it's scientifically proven or unscientifically proven. I think every single individual have some belief. So I think we should start from there. Let's start from that point that we all have some kind of belief regarding COVID-19. So, for the people that have taken religious exemptions based on their beliefs, let's keep out the part about religion out of it. Let's only work with belief. Let's work with belief alone and maybe some values and some norms, maybe. But let's work with beliefs. Now, I am assuming that one camp believes that those who have not been vaccinated are gonna transfer the disease to them and they're gonna die, right? So that's the radical belief. And another camp believes that they will not, they're being careful and they've been working for a whole year, a year and a half without getting sick, without getting anybody sick, not even testing positive. So that camp believes that if they keep doing what they're doing, protecting themselves, following all the protocols, they will be fine and their neighbors will be fine. So now we have two camps. One camp that believes that everybody should take the vaccine or else if not, one person who hasn't taken it is going to catch it and give it to them and they will die. And then the other doesn't believe that. Now, when it comes to belief, is it fair to say one camp is wrong and the other camp isn't wrong? Now we look at science, right? When beliefs come into such a tug of war, you go down and you pick up science and you say, scientifically, it shows that people die from COVID-19, and we all know that's true because we've witnessed it over this year and a half, people dying, millions of people dying from COVID-19. Granted, a lot of these people had other conditions. We also know that that was a significant reason also why a lot of people died, because they probably had other medical conditions. Now, we all know beyond any disputable fact that people die So when person believes that another person that has not been vaccinated is gonna get them sick and they're gonna die, that's not unfounded belief, right? That is a factual belief that it could happen. Now the other camp will argue that yes, it is a scientific fact, but a lot of people have been working together for a whole year and a half. And there's many societies that have been active and people haven't died. That is also a scientific fact if you want to look at it that way, that people who have been careful, they have not had issues. Now we come back to another scientific fact that could be argued is if you believe that somebody is going to catch it, give it to you, you're going to get it and you're going to die. What is your scientific proof, right? That that person is going to catch it, give it to you, and you're going to die. Now, I like the idea that I like the pushback, to say the least. I like the pushback that happened when people started saying the China virus, this Chinese virus, and then starting attacking Chinese people or anybody that looked like they were from China. They were attacked because people believed, believed that this vaccine could get them, that these people were carriers. And we all know that that's not true. And we all pushed back, or at least most of us pushed back, like you can't do that. Just like I might be from Africa and there is maybe Ebola, maybe AIDS is predominant even in the village that I'm from. Not saying it is, giving an example. So say somebody assumes that because I'm from Africa, it means that, yes, Africa is not a country. We know that. Africa is not a country. So, yes, we get that. I am using a context, right? Let's contextualize it in that sense. So, let's say that somebody says, you're from Africa, you have AIDS. I'm going to be very offended because that person have absolutely no scientific proof that I have AIDS. Correct? I don't have AIDS. So what is your scientific proof? Just because I'm from somewhere doesn't mean I'm going to have AIDS. So you're running on your biases, you're running on your assumption, and you're running on your belief that because somebody is from a certain region, they have AIDS. Now, the same assumption might be applied to this. So you could also see where somebody who argues that they don't have COVID and for that reason should not be treated like they have COVID could also argue that you're being unfair if you treat them like they have COVID when they don't. If you treat somebody like they're a carrier of COVID, you fire them from their job, you let them go because you think or you believe or you assume that they're a carrier of COVID. That's not, I don't know, like, what do you think? Is that fair? Is that rational? What will you say to that? Like, there's such an assumption. Like, I can't quite wrap my head around that assumption. But I'm thinking, okay, if somebody strongly believes that another person who is not vaccinated is going to catch it and give it to them, and they're going to die, and they don't have any scientific proof that that person is even carrying the disease, let alone going to give it to them. But they take action against that person. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't really quite know what I'm missing. But it seems like there's a gap. It seems like there's a gap between what is and what we think or believe, right? So I know that thought about biases and religious exemption, it comes back because I know a lot of people might argue that everybody's claiming a religious exemption and abusing the system. I get that, but the truth is, people's beliefs are people's beliefs. Just as that person believes that somebody might be a carrier of a virus, even though scientifically it's not proven, that is their belief. You can't deny them that belief. And if they are going to run on that fear and make decisions based on the fear that comes from what they believe, I don't necessarily think that that person should be easily dismissed. Yes, we can argue that it's scientifically wrong for them to do that, and it doesn't seem ethical for them to kick that person out of their job or isolate them or maybe some kind of form of discriminate against them. Yes, I'm not trying to be racist here. I'm looking for the right words that could make a point. So let's not take it another way that it's not. So if we are going to treat people one way because they have a certain belief, meanwhile you are also running on a belief, is that fair? I know that a big issue that has come up is you get sick, the hospitals are going to get overwhelmed, and then somebody that gets just some other regular sickness is not going to be able to go in and get vaccinated. And we all saw that. We all saw hospitals fill up. We all saw hospitals overwhelmed. We did all see that. So that's not what it's not a dispute. It's not a dispute. So I wonder though, is that enough argument to say that somebody should be kicked out of their job? Is that enough argument to say that the person that is not vaccinated is going to get you killed or get sick and get in the hospital and then you're not going to get a bed? That seems like a fair argument to me. Like, okay, this person that's not vaccinated is going to get sick and then they're going to go to the hospital and then now the beds are going to be full and then now there will not be any beds for the people that have regular situations that could have been taken care of. I get that. Like, I'm not disputing that. I get that. So, what I'm contemplating here is, where do we draw the line as humans? Where do we draw the line between what we believe, think, want, versus what is? Is it really true that these people that have not been sick and have worked throughout the craziness before the vaccine, they worked hard and never got sick, never tested positive even once? Is it logical to argue that believing that these people are going to all of a sudden all get sick, catch it, give it to you, you die, or all get sick, all go to the hospital, overwhelm the system, is a little bit, it seems a little bit unfair to one side, like to the person that doesn't want to get vaccinated. And then the interesting argument also comes in is, but you get vaccinated and you still catch it and you still get sick and you still go to the hospital. Somebody has already gotten vaccinated. They have developed antibodies, but now they're being forced to get a vaccine that might not have enough antibodies and instead eradicate the antibodies that they have, and then all of a sudden their immune system is going to be dependent on boosters. Now, these are all arguments these are all arguments. These are all the things that fuel some people's beliefs not to take the vaccine, correct? So we might think that's unfair and that's unfounded and that belief is false. It could be argued that in a radical sense, saying that that person is going to catch something and give it to you, you're going to die from it, is also really an unfounded belief. And it could be argued that it's not fair for somebody to be kicked out of their job over an unfounded belief. And if we're a society that respects every human being, and we respect where people are coming from, and we respect what they think, how they feel, and what they believe, why is that not applicable in this situation? Especially, again, if this group of people were able to work through the worst of it all and never got sick. Isn't there room in people's hearts? Isn't there room in leadership's heart? Isn't there room to say, okay, how can we work with you in this situation? Since you were so loyal, you worked hard, you did all this through this hardship, and you never got sick. How could we work with you during this time to make sure that you continue to stay safe and you continue to maintain what has worked for you? Right, this is all contemplating stuff. I don't have the answers. My heart is just heavy and sad and broken. And when I look at this from a leadership perspective, I think about some of the leadership steps, like the power structures that exist in leadership. You think of coercive power, you think of reward power, you think of expert power, you think of reverent power. And it almost feels like we have actually walked through all those steps. Like in the beginning, we knew the science. The science said this, the science says that, the different views when it comes to the science. Scientists have read scientists that say, oh, masks don't work, or I don't know if some of those positions have changed, but in the beginning, I know scientists that said masks don't work, right? So, and please don't ask me who they are. You can Google them. You can Google and find people that believe that that masks don't work. It doesn't mean I condone walking around without your mask. I think even for morale and for the societal well-being, or even mental well-being, emotional well-being, sometimes it's better to put it on. It's not you can't compare that to a vaccine that goes into somebody's body, right? So let's not draw that comparison. And I'm not trying to start a war or a fight. I'm basically want to reflect, want to think, want to pour out my heart. That goes to both camps, the camp that is afraid that somebody's going to get them sick, and the camp that is afraid that you're going to kick them out of their jobs because you don't believe what they believe, or you don't want to comprehend, or you don't comprehend, or you don't understand, or you don't want to meet them halfway in a struggle, in a difficult belief system that they find themselves in, that we all find ourselves in, right? Because in the beginning I said I want this to be foiled by our beliefs, not religious beliefs, just beliefs in general. Believing that the vaccine is going to stop you from dying, or believing that it will not. So whether that belief is true or it's false, it is a belief, and everybody has some belief regarding this COVID-19 and the vaccine. Now, going back to powers, I'm thinking about the expert power. We talked about the science. Some people didn't buy it. There was no buy-in from some people, even though they heard what the science is. They went with the other side of the science that says that vaccines, that masks don't work. They took the other side. Then the other side, then again, the president came out and made a plea. Other leadership came out and made a plea about taking the vaccine. Some people did it because it was reverent power. They looked up to this person, and they did it because this other person believed that this would help, and they did it. My president believes it's gonna help. My mother believes it's gonna help. My father believes it's gonna help. My friends believe it's gonna help. So some reverent power, right? Your boss believes it's gonna help, so you're gonna do it because of your respect and for your boss, and loyalty to your boss or to whoever the authority is. But some people still didn't go that route. And then you had the reward power. Hey, we're gonna give you lottery money if you did this. Well, you get to go out if you do this. You get to socialize. You get to see your family. Reward power. What do you get if you do this? We used all of that. Now we are in the place where we are using coercive power. You don't use this, you're gonna get fired. You don't do this, we're gonna do this to you. We're gonna da 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 da. So at this point, we don't care if you're gonna walk on the street and sleep on the street. We don't care if you've been loyal to the company for 100 years. Well, exaggeration, of course. We don't care if you have some strict religious beliefs. We don't care if yes, I know I said we don't talk about beliefs, but religious beliefs, but hi, that's one of them, right? We don't care if you have maybe some fear from a medical situation you've experienced. We don't care if you are a slow adopter. Some people are just slow adopter. They don't run to the front of the line. They wait. They take their time. They adopt things a little bit later. Some people are just slower in making these decisions. But you don't care, right? You don't care. You want what you want when you want it. You want everybody to do it now, and they do it now. And I get it. I'm not saying I don't get it. I get the power play, man. I get all the power play, man, he, she, whatever you want to identify yourself as. I get the power play. I am not saying I don't get the power play. I'm not saying you don't try everything in the book that you can try. I'm not arguing against that. But what I'm saying is, when do we draw the line? When do we draw the line? When do we draw the line to say what you think is good for you is not good for you? When do we draw the line where it infringes on somebody's free will? When do we draw the line about emotionally torturing people and causing them to live in constant fear because they don't want to do what you want them to do when you want them to do it? So when do we cross the line? I think maybe above anything, what really breaks my heart the most is watching people or hearing people how in this dilemma where they're not ready to do something and they're being forced. They're being coerced, right? They're not just being forced, they're being coerced to do something when they're not ready, even though there is no scientific proof that they are going to kill the other person. There's no scientific proof that they're going to kill their neighbor by not doing what that other person wants. So in that case, it is very worrisome. It is very worrisome to me to see people living in continuous fear of what their next meal is going to come from based on somebody's belief. Right? It is worrisome to me when somebody is put out on the street that have been loyal to a company for years based on the company's belief that this person is going to harm them. not based on a scientific proof that the person is actually a carrier and is actually going to harm them. So it makes one wonder though, is this because companies don't want to keep paying for testing and it's costing them so much money that they don't want to do it? Is it really because the numbers are still high and the hospitals are really still packed? I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. These are things I am contemplating as my heart breaks for people that are in a situation where they are being coerced to do, coerced. That word kills me, that word. I can't say it, but I think you know what I mean. Forced, intimidated, bullied, whatever you want to call it. I don't think anybody's really bullying anybody outright, but subtle things that make people feel uncomfortable enough to go do what will make the other person happy rather than what will make them happy. Not necessarily that this is a thing where you're doing it to make anybody happy or unhappy. This is serious business. This is a serious issue. And for people that are choosing not to take the vaccine because they believe at this time or not even at a later time that they will take it, or maybe they just need more proof, or maybe they just require a little bit more space. I think it just breaks my heart to see them being put out on the streets. It breaks my heart. It doesn't feel ethical to me. It doesn't feel like it's ethical leadership. It doesn't feel like they're doing it because they care for the company. And it doesn't feel like they're doing it because they really, truly are afraid that this person is going to catch it and get them sick. I don't know. It's just a feeling, but I might be wrong. And I don't have the answers. I just want the people that might not have a paycheck next week because they stand their ground and stand on their principles, stand on what they believe, that they need to make a decision, free will, free choice, while believing that they are not going to hurt anyone or harm anyone and doing the best they can every day not to hurt anyone or harm anyone. My heart truly, truly, truly goes out to the people that will be put out and to the people that get the vaccine not out of their free will. My heart goes out to you also, right? My heart goes out to you also. And to the people that have the privilege not to take the vaccine and still be protected and still protect the people around them. I applaud you and I say, please continue to do whatever you can to keep everybody around you safe, because yes, COVID is not a joke. And we all know that, and we respect you and we respect your belief, and we hope that you can keep yourself and others safe. I continue to pray that as you go through this time, that there would be some kind of resolution. This will become an endemic soon, so that the numbers will be less and there will be less fear, there will be less concern, and that you'll get a job, And I can only say I will pray that you will not lack food, and then I will pray for the people that are worried that you might be a burden on them. They are worried that you might cause this to hurt them. You might cause them to die from this disease or crowd the hospitals. I pray for those people too, that they will have peace, and that these decisions, if by somebody losing their jobs and walking on the streets and not having money, not having a roof over their head, brings you peace, I am happy for you that you have the peace. I am happy for you. I'm sorry, there is no other way. There's nothing else that companies that are refusing to take beliefs, if it's religious or not religious or just a personal belief, that the companies don't have any other way out but to do this to their employees. I am sorry that that is happening, and I wish everybody the best. I pray for pandemic to go away. I pray for COVID to go away or become an endemic and become a situation where it will be far more manageable than it is now. I pray for all of us. I pray for those who have taken it, those who have not taken it. So I pray for all of us. I pray for all of us. Pray for those who believe the vaccine is real and is good, and those who believe the vaccine is not good. I pray for every single one and everybody that has a belief in as far as we're concerned, because our beliefs is something that define us, right? Like what our beliefs define us in so many ways, and I don't take anybody's belief lightly, whether it is for or against. I don't take it very lightly. So I'm going to say, stay strong, stay safe in whatever you believe. Continue to do the best you can to be ethical. Continue to do the best you can to treat people, as humans. Continue to respect people. Continue to show compassion. Continue to show love. And if there's anything I can do to help somebody that has a belief that is contrary and is respectful of the system and the protocols and not being reckless, I am happy to help. If there's anything I can do to help, I'm happy to help. If there's nothing I can do to help, at least I have prayer. I can offer you prayer. I think I just needed to say these things. Much love to both the vaccinated and the unvaccinated, to those who believe and don't believe. Much love.